All right, Panther fans. Um, that's 8, right? That's 8 victory cigars in a row for Stu. The team is
Wait, time out
bankrupting
before we
Stu.
get started here. So, people ask me what are you smoking when I, so today I'm smoking a 1964 anniversary Padron Diplomatico. And a shout out to Mark and Nikki at ABC Liquor and Delray, Atlantic Avenue. I get my cigars there. Mark's a big Panther fan. So, hey, Mark. And I also want to thank David B for the ticket. I sat in 128 yesterday. Different perspective for me behind the goal. And yeah. So
Good stuff.
anyway, so thanks
Yeah.
for the cigar. Delicious.
No, that's good because I was worried that the Panthers were making you go bankrupt with all the victory cigars.
Same hat.
Yep. Yeah. Same hat. Yeah. So, all right. So, damn, everything I wanted to see yesterday is what I saw. I want to see Bobrovsky just settle down and just have a decent game. We got that. Um,
He wasn't that busy.
he wasn't that busy. No. But like I said in recap, he had that one late breakaway, right? And I gave Spencer Knight props for stopping his late game breakaway. So I got to be fair and do the same way, Bob. It wasn't a great shot, but he still made the save. It didn't find its way between his arm and his body and trickle in and we lose. So I'll take it. And that's what all I wanted to see. I just wanted to see a solid game where it just went right for him. You know what I mean? And we look, Gibson, really the story of the game is Gibson. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
I
first of
genuinely felt bad for him at the end of the game. You see how exhausted he was in overtime?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, first of all, my observation, everybody said, not everybody, but people like, I don't know, in the post-game interview, some of the questions were like, we played so good. I don't think it was a choppy game to me.
Right.
It was like, how the Panthers have had that flow where, the wave after wave after wave. Yeah. The only time I saw it, in my opinion, the team was like at 85% last night.
We agree. It
was only at the end when they tied it did they turn the amp up to 100.
Right.
And they were really pressing. Marchment still just, that kid is so good against the boards. He wins 9 out of 10 of his board battles.
Yep.
But Gibson, oh man, what a performance.
I know.
He was just, when we could have had at least 5, 6, 7 goals.
Yeah. I mean,
two on Declare on one-timers, and then that Bennett shot, he was going top shelf.
Yeah.
It was in. I mean, you saw his reaction.
Yeah.
When Gibson stopped it.
Yep.
So, I mean, goalies get this. This is what Bob should do in the playoffs.
Right.
If Bob plays like that, we win the cup.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
No doubt. But
no doubt. I mean,
55 shots, man.
Would it end up at 55?
Yeah, and he stopped 52 of them.
Okay, I stopped counting at 52. I was done clapping.
So his save percentage really skyrocketed.
Oh, that poor guy, man. I mean, and the last save that he made in overtime, when he got up, they kept the camera on him, and he's just like laboring to get up. He's just like,
yeah, he was spent.
He was.
That's why it was so easy for Huberdeau, on the rebound.
Yeah,
Gibson, he couldn't get up.
No, he was just sitting. He's just laying there, just like, please, just put me out of my misery. It was.
I mean, the save he made on Duclair on the wraparound, that was amazing. The Bennett, I mean, I could, like I said, I could look at least 5, 6 opportunities that we had where he made just incredible saves. But another win. I mean, these are the games that we should win.
Right.
So now Winnipeg comes up on Friday, and they always play good against us.
Yeah.
I know from watching the game the other night, Wheeler was out and Scheifele was out.
Okay.
I think they still won. And I don't know if it was against Edmonton, but anyway, so this is one of those games, we got 9 left.
So Steve shared a tweet with me, and what it was letting us know that the records that we need. So if we go 5-3-1 the rest of the way, we clinch top seed in the conference. So I want those last 2 games to be a throwaway So we need 5-1-1. So we can safely just lose those 2 games and we'll have the number 1 seed in the conference. Because I don't feel like I have any interest in them chasing the President's Cup in those last 2 games. Rest people, please. If we have the conference sewn up, I don't want to see Barkov, Huberdeau, Duclair, Bennett, Giroux, Uyghur, or Bobrovsky on the ice. And there might be a couple more. I want to see Anton Lundell on the top line. And then, by the time we get down to the bottom, you got, Deanosenko and Heppel and the Emmy for those last 2 games. I don't want to, and not that Lundell isn't important, but,
I agree. I mean, they have to play, but, they really could roll the lines. We get five wins. We got 10 points. That's 120. I'm happy.
Right. Yeah.
I'm happy. I think we're going to win more. But it's going to be interesting to see that those last 2 home games versus Toronto and Tampa.
Right. Yeah.
Toronto lost again last night, Eric, to the Sabres. The Sabres are the only team that swept them this year. 3 wins against Toronto.
Jeez.
Incredible. And Matthews didn't score.
Yeah. Yeah, because we have a 10-point lead in the division. At least that's what I saw last night. And I guess if Toronto lost, that stayed. That just doesn't happen a lot in hockey. Teams 4-6 points usually. That's where things end up. But we're just running away with it, and we're not playing. We're just like out there, right? I know it sounds crazy to think we're 1-8 in a row, and as other teams fans might be going, what do you mean you're not playing well? We're just we're playing okay.
Well, you've noticed the scores. We're not running up the scores. 4 goals was like the minimum, and it was like every game. So, again, from what I saw, it's just my opinion. We're playing like, we're clocked in, but we're not like expending extra energy to rack up the score.
Right.
But
and really the only mistake last night that I was really noticeable was the one was the Bennett one.
I texted you right away, and you know how nutty I am about the blind backhand pass behind the net.
Yeah,
more times than not, an opposition player gets it. There's a guy in front, and bang, it's in the net before you can blink.
Right, is exactly what happened.
The other goal was a deflection. So
yeah. No, I mean, Bobrovsky didn't have a lot of work. Certainly not a lot of high scoring. We were not giving up the puck, and that's the thing that I talked about was I wish I could have the coach's film, because I want to see what's going on the ice, the difference between the periods where we're giving up 3 and 4 and 5 goals, and then like the next period we don't even give up 5 shots. I would just like to be able to watch the entire ice and look at, okay, what's changed? Is it the forwards are forechecking better, or the defense?
No, I'll tell you what it is.
All right, so
tell you what it is.
All right.
When we're playing Panther hockey, we get it out of the defensive zone like that.
Right.
When we're not, the other team is keeping the puck in its possession. They're keeping the puck in the net.
Right.
I mean, in the D zone.
Right.
So that's the key. And our team is based on speed.
Yeah.
So, we got the guys, and, like I said, last night they did a pretty good job, getting the puck right out.
Right.
So,
right. Yep. Now, I have a request from at least a couple people
about the Huberdeau
Huberdeau and the Hart. So,
okay. So here we go.
Go, Stu, go.
All right. So the MVP, the definition of the Hart or the MVP is the most valuable player to his team. So I'm looking at the stats right now, and, I'm not going to say it's a popularity contest. I'm not going to say it's based on the scoring, because, there's another trophy for the scoring race, but just to compare a couple of the other players. So McDavid has 42 goals, 66 assists, 108 points. His plus or minus is 22. Huberdeau has 28 goals, 77 assists, 105 points, plus 34. Okay, let's say Austin Matthews has 58 goals, 41 assists, 99 points, plus 14.
Wow.
Johnny Gaudreau, who I
Right.
think would be the main competition for, because he's coming on like a banshee. He's got 34 goals, 67 assists, 101 points. He's plus or minus 56.
Holy
So the
cow.
reason why I'm saying Huberdeau, first of all, 77 assists. He's 11 more. I mean, he's just blowing it away with the assists. So that means an additional 77 goals were scored with
Right.
Huberdeau involved. And think about all the plays that he's made where he might not have gotten an assist, but he started the play off.
Right.
Okay, so so that's that. And obviously his plus or minus is dynamite. He also now is killing penalties,
Right.
which is something that he never did before, and he's done a damn good job there.
Right.
He's the straw that's, that straws the Panthers drink.
Right.
He's key on the power play. So he's got a 12-point point streak going.
Right.
I think it's 5 games where he's had 3 or more points in a game, multi-point game. But he's also had like I think 3 4-point games, and I think there might be a couple 5-point games.
Yeah, he had the.
So as far as scoring, Huberdeau is instrumental in the Panthers offense.
Right.
I just think when he's on, the rest of the team's on. He also has done a much better job this year on his defensive game.
Yeah.
His board work has improved so much. He's gotten really stronger. And I think the other big factor for me is, what does he do in the clutch?
Yeah. That's
like
a good
the
point.
last 2 games, he's had the overtime winners.
Right.
So again, my opinion, I'm biased, obviously, but I think that's the case that I would make. Why he should win he's I think, and I'm going to go crazy, people are going to not agree with me on this, I think he's more valuable to our team than Barkov.
Oh, I've been saying that.
And just look at the fact that Barkov was out 13 games.
Right.
And we still, had a great record while he was out.
Yeah. No.
Not taking anything away from Barkov.
No.
But I just
this is the first year where Barkov on occasion has learned how to take over games. I mean, he's an excellent two-way player. He doesn't make mistakes. He's got ridiculous skills. But if I could only have one of the 2 guys, I've been consistent with this for years. If I could only have one of them, I'd take Huberdeau all day long when Huberdeau is playing with energy and emotion. There's just something about, he's got the it factor. I think that he's got that little bit of extra emotion and energy that you see Barkov try to have it sometimes, but it just doesn't come natural to him. So not a knock on Barkov, though. I mean, we're
definitely
lucky to have
not.
both. They're just very different players.
Huberdeau has just matured over the years. He's definitely gotten bigger. And when he came to the team, he was a scrawny little, like Borgstrom.
Right.
He was, skinny guy. And I think since his Achilles injury, since he came back from that injury, I'd love to see the statistics, but he's killed it since he's back.
Yeah, and look,
he's the best passer in the league.
Yep,
in my opinion, without a doubt. And we really would miss him dearly if he was not with us.
Right.
Obviously, we're still winning with Ekblad out of the lineup.
Yep.
So anyway, I welcome the comments. People disagree with me. Like I said, Matthews, everybody's like, oh, Matthews got 54 goals. Okay, so excuse me, he's got 58 goals.
Yeah, 58.
He'll probably get 60.
Yeah.
But he's only got 41 assists. And yeah, of course he's valuable to the team, but I just think Huberdeau is more valuable. Johnny Gaudreau is like I said, if there was one player
Right.
that would give Huberdeau, some run for his money as far as the MVP, it's Johnny Gaudreau.
It's
But
Goodrow, right.
I guess we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. I mean,
Yeah.
there's 9 games left. I do think he's going to get his 30 goals. Huberdeau
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Duclair got his last night.
He's got 77 assists, so I definitely think he's going to hit 80.
Yep.
All he's got to do is have his, usual 3-point night.
Right. Yeah.
The fact that the Panthers are not scoring, 5, 6, 7 goals, I don't think we're going to see that.
No.
Maybe,
No.
but I just think they're comfortable enough right now where, they just want to finish the season and get to the playoffs. I
Yep.
just,
Mhm.
my one prayer is that nobody gets hurt.
Right. No, absolutely.
I said that to David, we're sitting in the seats and I'm like, I think Barkov took a hit from somebody. I'm like, just nobody get hurt.
Right.
We need our, Ekblad comes back and we got our full lineup. It's going to be dynamite.
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Yeah. I know. And, the depth on defense now, that was the one thing we were, I think between Lindholm, Haig, and Carlson, remember those guys won't be playing when Ekblad's back. So
yeah, well, Bruno really likes Haig.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we're the depth.
Yeah.
That's where I think we have an edge on everybody else.
Yeah.
We definitely have the best third line in the league. That Marchment, Lundell, Reinhardt line is dynamite. And Lundell is such a smart player.
Yep, that penalty he drew yesterday.
The hockey IQ on that kid, and like Barkov and like Huberdeau. I mean, the guys that have Gretzky was great in a lot of areas, but the thing that made Gretzky great was his hockey IQ and seeing the chessboard.
Right.
I just make that, analogy. It's like chessboard, that the great chess players see moves 2 and 3 moves ahead of
right.
the move that they're making.
Yep. So. Yep. I get that. And look, that's what Huberdeau did last night in overtime. And you mentioned his strength, and maybe last year's, but in previous years, he doesn't make that play because that was just full on knowing where the puck was going to go and using his lower body strength to just basically bump the guy off the puck and take the puck at the same time and spin around at the same time. And
that's a play where Terry should just, bounce it off the boards and it's out of the zone. But again, like our friend Uyghur, he tried to stick handle and he got burned.
Yeah. You got to know who's on the ice. That's Huberdeau. You get the puck the hell away.
We're not going to have 3-on-3 in the playoffs. So
yeah, no, I'm not worried about that. I mean, we're pretty good 5-on-5 though. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not overly concerned about that. I mean, it has helped. It has helped us this year. There's no way around that.
But getting our games to overtime, as soon as they tied it up.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to win every game but we're really good in overtime.
Yeah.
Especially with Huberdeau and Barkov out there, and obviously, Uyghur's got to give him credit too on the 3-on-3.
Yeah, and they also threw Forsling out there last night, which was good. I wouldn't surprise me to see if Uyghur had played a lot of minutes, so he was a little bit gassed there. Other than that, I know we're going to see Spencer Knight here at least one or two more times. Hopefully,
I'd like to see him Friday night.
Yeah. Well, we got Friday, Sunday, and then next weekend we got 2 games. That's the next weekend is the Toronto-Tampa weekend. So, we're going to see Knight one of those games, and like you said,
it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be in net against Toronto.
I'm torn because Knights played so well against Toronto, but on the other hand, you'd kind of like Bob to have the confidence of going out there and having a good game against Toronto because, there's a decent chance we meet up with them in the second round the way, everybody's playing right now. I was looking at, the matchups, and I feel good with Washington. I feel good with us against Washington. They have a good team, but I don't think their goaltending is going to be able to. I don't feel like they're going to be able to goalie us. And we make it past that, then you're talking about, you know, I know Toronto's lost, Tampa's won a couple games. It's going to be those series. I think this could work in our benefit, because if we play our game, we should not really be going to game 7 and really not even game 6 against Washington if we really play our game. And the point there is that if it's like whatever the 4 teams between Canes, Toronto, Tampa, and Boston, those series are going 7 games. And if they're going to be blood sport, you know.
You got the Hurricanes, the Rangers, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but in terms of who would be able to play who, in terms of who's playing who in the first round, the Canes are going to get the other wild card. So that's going to be either Tampa, Boston, or Toronto. And then out of that, those 3 teams, whoever doesn't make the wild card is going to play each other. Right. So those 2 series. The point being is that we could come out of the Washington series pretty good shape, and though whoever we play had just had a 7-game brutal series. So
we just have to get out of the first round and get that monkey off our back. I think once that happens, the confidence level is going to go sky high.
Right.
I'm anxious, I'm hoping Ekblad comes back, in form.
I've had this every time you've said that. I have this sneaking suspicion that, and somebody might call me crazy, but I have this sneaking suspicion that Ekblad's going to come back game 1 of the playoffs, and we're going to go 7D, so that he doesn't have to play 20 some odd minutes, and just rotate, the bottom, rotate like Lusterinen and Hornquist, whoever, or Lomberg, whoever we choose to play, at forward on the bottom, and rotate them like we did that one game when Achari got hurt. I every time you've said that, I just have that feeling that we'll start off that way, just the one game, so that we're not throwing Ekblad out there for 25 minutes game 1 of the playoffs when he hasn't played in a month. So it's a thought. Well, if it happens, you heard it here first.
I think, well, I didn't think about that, but that's, logical, at least for the first game.
Yeah. One game. Yeah.
Ekblad's skating now, but, again, now it's stamina.
Right.
Who knows if he's going to have, he's a workhorse. He's, like 25, 26 minutes a night.
Right.
So, yeah, like I said, I just hope he comes back in the form that, he was having such a great year.
Right.
It's all going to come down, Eric. It's all going to come down to goaltending.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, we can put up the goals, but Bob's got to be solid.
He's just going to be solid.
The big point that you've made about Bob. Now, we get a day off in between games. Usually it's a game, day off, a game. Yeah. And I think it's 2 days off when they travel.
Right.
Is Bob going to be good after playing 3-4 games?
Yeah, that's going to be the thing for me, is game 4, game 5. I know it's probably never going to happen, and I know I'll probably get roasted, but I wouldn't be against. And I know this is like the odds of this happening are not fantastic, but if we had a 3-0 lead, I wouldn't be against putting Knight out there for game 4. He's been the goalie both times that we've clinched the playoffs, and he saved the series last year in game 5. So the pressure is not going to be too much for him. And we still haven't seen Bobrovsky play the 4 or 5 really good games in a row without getting a break in the middle. Maybe nobody else sees that but me. I don't know. But
Knight seems to be back to where he was.
Right.
I don't know what happened. Yeah, I think he just lost his confidence. And, another thing with Bob in the recent games has been his positioning and his angles.
Right.
And, getting beat on some of these shots that I think he, when he's Vezina Bob, he's stopping because he's in the right position.
Yeah.
Gibson last night was like, he didn't make any mistakes.
No, he
I
was a
mean,
wall.
we got lucky with a little puck luck on Duclair's first goal, banged
Right.
off, the defenseman's skate.
Yeah.
And then he couldn't stop the one-timer, because we had him going
Yeah, we
back
had him
and
going
forth and
back
back
and
and forth on the power play.
Right. You
Yeah, I
saw.
mean, our that 5-forward power play, dynamite. I mean, we have so much talent. I was telling David, Giroux, Reinhardt, Huberdeau, Barkov. I mean, we're just
and
loaded.
then Duclair, right. I mean, it's not, you're right. And yeah, you made the point about Bobrovsky and his angles early on in the first period. They hit the post short side, and he was not on angle for that. He left way too much room short side, and we just got lucky that the guy hit the post. So that's a good point. And now, of course, somebody's gonna say I'm even bitching about it when he doesn't get a goal scored against them.
You can bitch.
I'm allowed to bitch. You guys trust me. You don't want me praising anybody very much at all. It's just instantaneous.
I think Giroux's going to play a real pivotal role in one area, and that's the faceoffs.
Well,
some games are won and lost.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, we're on the power play and we're in the O-zone.
Right.
You lose the faceoff, the puck's down the ice. You win the faceoff, the power play starts, moving around. And obviously the key to the power play is, moving the puck quickly.
Yeah.
Getting one of the defensemen out of position. And they got to shoot more. I mean, there was, a couple of power play. And we got lucky. We really got lucky because they had that one power play, and this is at the end of the game now.
Right.
Where they killed it off. And then the defenseman, and I think the delay of game was off.
Yeah.
He did it with his glove. I don't think it was his stick.
They showed the replay. It was the stick. They came back to a commercial and Randy broke it down. And he was just trying to, it's like the puck was up in the air and he was just trying to tap it, and he just tapped it right over the glass.
Okay. So we got lucky there.
We got lucky. Yeah.
So they had to basically kill 4 minutes. It was back to back.
Yeah. He had just come out of the box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing with Huberdeau. We talked about it before and we saw it again. He gets into that spot just to the left side there in the circle, and there's room to shoot, brothers. I know you're the passing king, but they're giving you this. They're giving Huberdeau the shot, and he rarely takes it. And when
got Reinhardt, the baseball player, with great hand-eye coordination in front for either a tip in or a rebound.
Right. And when he shoots, he scores because they're giving him the shot because they're playing the pass.
How many times has he scored when he's taken the shot?
Right.
In that top shelf corner.
Yeah.
So I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. There's a balance there, right? There, when the passing works like it did last night, when we get the goalie out of position after 5 passes and he's just gassed and can't move anymore, and we score, then we're like, well, there's the passing. That's why we do it. Just give me 1 out of every 5 times. Give me 1 more shot out of every 5 passes. Just 1. Because
it seems to me what they're looking to do on that power play is set Duclair up for the one-timer.
Yeah.
Like almost every power play that that I've seen since they put that 5-forward unit out, they're looking for Duclair, and I mean obviously he's got the shot.
Yeah.
But
no doubt there.
Nice to see him get
the shot. That's the thing with Duclair. You never hear Duclair misses the net. He hits the net. He might get the goalie might make a save, but it's never high and wide, and it's around, and they're chasing the puck. That's why I like
30 goals.
30 goals.
So we got Barkov at 34, Duclair at 30, Huberdeau's got 28.
Right.
I think Reinhardt's up there. We could possibly have 4 or 5 guys with 30 goals.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is just mind blowing.
I know.
So
and we hit 300 goals, and we just keep winning. We just keep winning. So, all right, you're good. I'm good. This was good. Perfect. I hope the sound is good. We're still working on it, but hopefully, I did some tests. The tests sounded good, and these are the settings that I use for the tests. So we'll see. I know I'm still working on, like, sometimes I get too close and sometimes I get too far away. So it's a work in progress. I've got a pop filter downstairs. I'm probably going to install on top of this so that I don't use that. I don't do that.
No, you sound fine.
But we're getting there. We're getting there. Stu
So
likes
I
the
have
size of this thing. Stu is like just Stu
I
has
have a,
microphone
I
size
have a
envy.
request. I have a request.
Yeah.
So my Twitter handle is at Stu and Boca. I'm close to 900. I think I need like 23 or 24. So you guys are not following me on Twitter. I'd appreciate a follow. Obviously, if you like the video, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit notifications.
Yes.
And I also want you guys to start thinking about some questions, not
Yeah.
now, but I'm setting up that Randy Billy
Yeah. We're setting up the Randy Billy
conference
thing.
Zoom
Right.
call,
Yeah.
and we'll run some questions by those guys.
Yep. And then
That's it.
Yep. And Stu and I will have a Q&A. Well, we're going to work that out. Probably next week. We'll probably do that next week because then after that we're getting closer to the playoffs. So, all right, guys, appreciate all the support. Today is what? What day is today?
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
The 13th.
When you're self-employed, every day is the same. They don't change. I mean, today is Wednesday. Tuesday, I'm out there fixing the lawnmower. Who fixes the lawnmower on Tuesday? Only somebody who never stops working.
Somebody whose lawnmower broke down and needs fixing.
That was a true story. I knew I parked it with the flat left tire, so I knew I had that coming. So I go out there, I'm going to do the oil change. The front left tire, I'm like, all right. I go around and the freaking front right tire is flat too. I'm like, you son of a bitch. So I get that taken care of. Then I for whatever reason, the oil was so thick, and I've left it sit every winter, and then I do the oil change, but this oil was so thick, it just wouldn't come out. So it's just draining, just dripping and dripping. And it might have had something to do with maybe I was like not level. You have to be level. I might have been tilted. So I finally get that drained. Like, now let me take the oil filter. I guess maybe because of I don't know, whatever. Okay. But the thing, I mean, I've got the oil, I've got the wrench. It wouldn't freaking budge. And I had a moment. I might have yelled some explicit, you know what I'm saying? I was cursing. And so an hour into what usually is like a 10-minute oil change, I'm all done. And I look, and it's like, all right, I can do an hour of mowing, and then I got to get ready for the stream. And I set my ass on it, click. And I'm not in gear. Nothing is in gate. Click. You mother. So I jumped it with the van. Started right up. I'm like, all right, it's the battery. We're good. Right. I'm not doing anything stupid. I know my mower. I let it charge like 15, 20 minutes. Unplugged everything. Click. Done. Battery's complete. It's a brand new battery from last year. So I got to drag it into town, which, yeah, I live in the woods. So I got to go into town to do shit. And so that was my day. That was my day. So
listen, shout out again, Mark. Thank you for this cigar. Delicious.
Yep.
You can see I'm still smoking it.
Wonderful.
I'm really enjoying it. So
all right, guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep. All right. We'll see you in the next one.
Oh.